from around the world. This is the Happy News from Moving On TV. Moving On TV.
My name is Tanya and welcome to the Happy News. Today I'm going to be speaking about my brother who made an amazing recovery about 2 years ago with his mental health. He basically got diagnosed with psychosis. It was a month before he was meant to get married, so this was quite a big deal at the time. Me and my mum, we were looking after him at the time. We didn't know what to do. He was even in hospital for about 2 weeks. He was under quite a lot of medication at the time. Me and my mum, we didn't know what to do. We decided to help because he was refusing to listen to the doctors. He knew in himself that he didn't want any medicine, any medication. He's never been one to take medicine. So once we took him out of the mental institution, he came home, and for about 3 months my mum wasn't at work. She was looking after him, and we thought for the first month that we were giving him medicine, but it turns out that when we looked on the floor, he'd been taking it straight out of his mouth and putting it on the floor. So we realised that he hadn't even been taking the medication, and from there we could see he was even getting better. He was going out running. He was going to the gym twice a day. He even went to the gym with jeans on, but my mum left it in God's hands. She said, let him do what he needs to do, and as soon as she accepted that God's going to take it into his hands, she can't do anything, she started feeling a lot better. My brother started recovering, and about 3 months down the line we didn't even realise he'd gone back to normal, but even better than back to normal. We had my brother back, we had a much stronger relationship. Now we go on holidays together, we've been on about 3 since then, and it's really nice and open and honest, and it's the best thing that could have happened.
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour, bonjour. I want to wear my face to the audience as I would a laver. And that is why I refuse to wear the makeup and the products, not unless they are organic. Because they make me feel nude. So, come on board, organic makeup companies, moving on TV.uk. Bonjour.
From around the world, this is the Happy News from Moving On TV, your positive TV station. V station.
Hello everybody and welcome to Happy News. My name's Ruth Humphreys and I'm delighted to be in the new Moving On TV studio, which is in Bell Street in Maidenhead. This is such an exciting day because I think I am the first person here to tell the happy news for Lauren in this wonderful new space, which is going to be used for all these fantastic businesses and films and stories. So do keep a lookout. So it's coming up to Christmas, coming up to Advent, and of course in the States it's also Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all our friends and family in the States as well, and anybody celebrating that this week. So I think the main happy news for this week really is keeping a lookout for what's going on around you, particularly if you're in Maidenhead. There's some fantastic events around Christmas, the lights being switched on, and Advent events as well. But wherever you are, giving thanks and looking out for happy things all around you. See you soon. Bye bye.
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour, bonjour. I want to wear my face to the audience as I would
from around the world. This is the Happy News from Moving On TV, your positive TV station. V Station.
Hi, I'm Andre. Welcome to the Happy News. A positive story that happened to me. When I was about 20, I was in Royal Holloway Station, and I had lost my ticket, and I had to go back to High Wycombe, which is an emergency. And the guards wouldn't let me go through, but this woman came up to me and asked how much was my ticket. And I said, well, it's about literally £18. And she goes, she literally took the money out and she handed it to me. And she goes, that's fine. And I talked to her on the train. I said to her, you are some kind of angel, because many people do that. And she talked about her kids. And I just vowed ever since, after that, if I could do anything to help people, if I have anything, that I think you should always do that.
You get someone that's actually in intense pain, that it's hard for them to even sit and think that they could ask their pain in. How are you going to do it? Would you do that by steps, like slowly, gently? Because
the first thing that you want to do is imagine that you're holding a sword and shield while setting the sword and shield down, and then walking up to an imagined sacred space, the door opening, and then your issue, say neck pain, walking through the door, and you welcome it.
Hello, my name is Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. I specialise in smoking cessation, weight loss, phobia release, stress management and hypnobirthing. I can do a free assessment via the phone, via Skype or face-to-face at any time. So that's Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. Looking forward to your call now. You can also find me on my Facebook page, which is Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy.
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour. I want to wear my face to the audience as I would Ella Vert. And that is why I refuse to wear the makeup and the products, not unless they are organic, because they make me feel nude. So, come on board, organic makeup companies, Moving On TV.uk. Bonjour. No, rien.
From around the world, this is the happy news from Moving On TV.
This is the happy news. And God doing His
From around the world, this is the happy news from Moving On TV, your positive TV station. TV station.
My name is Hannah Mae Bindler. And the happy news is here because I'm here. Anyway, my story today is about colors. And it's a very happy story about a little girl in Texas, near where I live. She decided she wanted to make a lot of people happy. So she got out these canvases. She found these canvases in her mother's attic because her mother's an artist. And she started painting all these beautiful pictures from the most beautiful colors you can imagine. Cerise and purple and blue and green and yellow and red and every color you can imagine. And she painted and painted and painted. And then she decided, once she finished her paintings, and they were good paintings, that she was going to give them away. And she gave them away to the old people's home down the street. And they all hugged her, all these little old ladies and little old men, all said thank you, and we're so grateful for all the beautiful, colorful paintings that this little girl Pam had given them. So that's my happy news for the day. Now you can tune in to more happy news with lots of great people here on Moving On TV. You can send them to Lauren, L-A-U-R-E-N, at movingontv.uk, and that's the happy news of the day. So it's me signing off, Hannah Mae Bindler here in Texas, US of A. So make sure you eat your greens, make sure you take your vitamins, wear your hats when you go outside, don't get too much acid rain on your little heads, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste is what I'm told to say. Bye, y'all! No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour, bonjour.
From around the world, this is the happy news from Moving On TV, positive TV station.
Go on then. Our Jewish breakfasts.
Go on.
We used to upset all the drivers on a Friday. We used to have a Jewish breakfast.
In our union office.
In the union office, it would start off with roll mops,
Salt beef. Bagels.
Saveloys,
Smoked salmon.
smoked salmon. And these drivers, they nicknamed the union office as South Croydon Synagogue.
Well, put it like this. Normally, when Paul was in there on his own, well, myself and Paul in there, it used to be very busy with everybody coming with the most spurious complaints going. When it was myself and Keith, we got nobody before 11 o'clock. So we had a very, very peaceful Friday morning.
To have a Jewish breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great way to start the day.
It was.
Thank you, guys.
But the other thing, of course, is that as we hear that our latest aircraft carrier has sprung a leak. It's very serious. Queen Elizabeth, the aircraft carrier, has sprung a leak.
Yeah.
It has, yeah. It's taken on 200 litres of water an hour. Absolutely fantastic. But while she was out at anchor at Spithead, there were quite a lot of important visitors going out to it. And one rather important wife of an admiral was going out in the jolly boat, and the wind changed direction, quite a lot of spray was being flung over her. And the coxswain of the boat says, has anybody got a Macintosh that we can put across the admiral's wife? As a result, Able Seaman Angus Macintosh is now in detention in the barracks.
Thank you.
Is that sufficient?
Thank you.
Yeah, when I think of some of the things, poor John Warlow,
Oh God.
Arriva used to have a policy that they did not discriminate on sex, race,
Sorry, Alan.
religion. In fact, they said there was a
Creed, colour, anything.
Yeah. So this particular day, the garage manager, as per every Friday at 2:30, briefcase in hand, used to leap out the building and go home
To meet his wife.
to meet his wife. And this particular day, I don't know why, but I said, John, I need to talk to you. What's that? I said, I understand.
You do know why, it was just after Ramadan,
Yes, well,
when everybody wanted prayer mats rolled out.
and I asked him about this, and he said, no, definitely. I said, well, me and Alan are Jewish, and we're both able to work Christmas Day, but we want Yom Kippur off. And he looked at us,
Yom Kippur.
he said, are you serious? Yes. He disappeared back into the office.
We shouted and we wanted Sukkot at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah. he disappeared back into the office, and he didn't come out for how long?
Hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. He was contacting every personnel manager he could find and HR relations. They come up with a conclusion that if we pushed it, we could have it.
I mean, they didn't know where they could find us a job on Christmas Day. Then we said we're not working Saturdays either, it's the Sabbath.
That cracked him.
And that's when he ran out.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thanks for making us laugh. Take care.
Oh, that was great.
Happy Christmas.
Lauren, thank
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel.
From around the world, this is the happy news from Moving On TV, positive station.
So my name's Dan and this is the Happy News TV for today. So recently I was just offered an internship in Toronto for later this year in the film industry. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. I'm very excited to go away. So yeah.
No, rien, de rien. Oh, I love you too, Marcel. Oh, bonjour.
There we go. Welcome to Moving On TV. Do you love animals as much as we do? I just showed you Peace and Ellie, my cats. Well, if you love animals, and you love humans, of course, you're the kind of sponsor that we would be proud to have on board Moving On TV. The only sponsors that we would even think about having on board Moving On TV are sponsors that are enhancing the environment, enhancing life, enhancing humanity. They never use chemicals in any way, shape or form, not in hair products, facial products, organic only. That's the only thing that touches this skin. No one guesses my age because I never ever use anything but pure organic makeup and products on this beautiful shell. I'm healthy in mind, body, spirit because I never eat anything if it's got any kind of chemical or if it's not pure. So come on board Moving On TV if you are one of us. If you're starting with a new product that you want to get out there to enhance society, to enhance humanity, to enhance animals. Maybe you're doing a new pet food for animals without chemicals. We will welcome you on here, whoever you are, as long as you love animals and people as much as we do. You can contact me on movingontv1@gmail.com, 07437 532 798. Email me, I just said it. We are Moving On TV, the new TV station that brings you the hope and the glory, and I am the proud CEO, Lauren Hope Glory, moving on with all of you into a beautiful new world together. I love you. Namaste. Welcome to Moving On TV. Thank you. Bye. Welcome to Moving On TV. My name is Lauren Hope Glory. I'm the proud CEO of Moving On TV, the TV station that gives you the hope and then the glory. Now, this is our mission statement. Our mission statement is that you have always got a platform for your talents, your dreams, your work, and it doesn't involve money. Welcome to Moving On TV and 2021. Goodness me, welcome. Welcome to the new year, guys, and welcome to Moving On TV. My name is Lauren Hope Glory, and I am the proud CEO of Moving On TV. And I'm here today to invite you on board Moving On TV. Now, let me tell you about my mission statement. We are the TV station that day and night is there for you 24 hours a day with your talents, your holistic work, your dreams. When nobody else wants to listen to you, we are there for you. Welcome to Moving On TV. There will always be a switchboard. You can ring 07437 532 798. And as long as as Moving On TV is here, and it will be here forever, growing and growing and growing, you will never, ever have to struggle again worrying about who is going to listen to my talents, who will let me sing, who will let me dance. We will. And that comes from my mission statement, because I know how it feels, because that's what happened to me. If you know anything about me, I sat in a wheelchair and crying because there wasn't one TV station that I could contact to go on. God knows I tried and I tried. Have you got that book in you? Do you want to talk about your pets? We've done a cup and a scone with people in their 90s. It doesn't matter. I'm ageless. I don't have an age anymore. You don't have an age anymore. We are pure love consciousness. Moving On TV is here for you. Welcome to Moving On TV, the happy news, news flashes if we can, if it's safe, the consumer program to try and get solutions for you. We are solution based. Welcome to Moving On TV. Come on board. The best little new TV station in the world, Moving On TV, moving you on every day, one tiny step at a time. You can contact me at movingontv1@gmail.com. I love you. Have a beautiful 2021. May all your dreams come true, because we can help you make them happen. And we also are looking for amazing sponsors holistic, that only enhance the environment and enhance the human race. I love you. Where we go one, we go all. Welcome to Moving On TV and 2021. I love you. Happy New Year.
Welcome to Moving On TV, and this is a little message request. I'm looking for someone to host the Happy News. Okay, so all you gotta do is collect happy stories, zoom it or film it on your camera and send it to me, or we can do it together. That's up to you. So, looking for a host or a hostess to collate loads of happy stories for Happy Saturday. Welcome to the ascension of Moving On TV. Contact me at movingontv1@gmail.com and let's get that happy news, the positive news out there. Take care. Love you lots. So you can call me on 07437 532 798 and check out the website hopegloryproductions.com. Take care. Bye. TV and people from around the globe. Today, I'm interviewing a Bollywood and he's basically the Devdutt. He played in the Devdutt, crazy, insane, twisted. Devdutt that we all know if you watched the 53 episodes on Netflix, and I know him as. And I'm very, very happy to introduce Jagat Singh on TV.
Namaste. Namaste. It's very good.
Namaste, and thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much. It's a matter of honor and proud to be a part of your show. And I'm thankful to all of you show and who have liked it, made me come here and interact with people. Thank you so much.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here. As I said, myself and lots of other people, particularly people from the Buddhist community, we sat and watched the whole series of Buddha. Saw you go through hell from top to bottom, and you know, when you actually died, we all cried. Are you at the moment? Are you in Mumbai at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Mumbai very much.
Okay.
Yes, I am in Mumbai right now.
Great, great, great. Okay, so you were born in Rajasthan. Okay, you actually studied chemistry originally.
It all. Yeah, you know it all. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's true.
and then you suddenly decided to become an actor. How did that happen?
Never supported. So it was a very interesting incident which happened in my life. I was going to my college, and somebody asked me for a lift, and I felt like helping the guy, and I said, "What do you want?" And I asked him, "What do you did?" That I work in theater, so I got that clue, window into an act. I love to come, and then he took me my first appearance, or that was to the world of acting and theaters. I requested them that if I can play any part or can be part of the team. So they took me as a background helper in the play. But that started, and there I got to play small roles in theaters, and then some part-time work at the local TV in Jaipur, where I was born and brought up and was studying. And gradually then I started doing in TV. So it's been actually a long, and
Wow.
started really from scratch. from doing a backstage work in a theater to do shows at the local level there, and then ending up in coming to Mumbai and doing the film.
Well, you've progressed, you've worked your way up the ladder. Let me just
You can say that.
But what is as an actor, you played the enemy of Siddhartha or Buddha. From the beginning of time, you tried to destroy him in every single way possible, and you tried to get rid of him, and you expressed such a huge amount of malevolence and cruelty and so much twisted anger and rage that came out of you. Now, how did you do that for 53 episodes? Where did you get that from? How did you manage to tap into such cruelty? Because they want me to ask you that, because it was so, you're such an actor and you really put it across, and we believed you. You know, the acting there, you were there, you did it, and that's what it does. How did you do it, Anga?
I'm a trained method actor, and when in method acting, we try to become the character. We try to get the in your mind, and it's about reading the lines and delivering. But it's becoming the character. That's what is the best definition of acting, just be the character. Very, very interesting incidents happened with me when I was in the process of approaching the character and was preparing for it. Like in first 2-3 days, I started getting nightmares that I am actually Devdutt, and I used to get up in the middle of the night, and it was not a very pleasant thing to experience that time. But I never resisted it. I let it come in my body because it was one of the best things I was doing so far in my 16-17 years of struggle as an actor. It was one of the best roles. So I let it happen with me. And I've read a lot about Devdutt, and he used to think that he was very, very unlucky because whatever he liked and desired, it was always taken away from him.
Everything went wrong.
That was the biggest.
Go on. So everything went wrong for him. It's like you knew everything was going to go wrong with Devdutt. Everything went wrong with him.
Yeah.
So you started to feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on.
And see, I started feeling very unlucky. If I go for important work, my head puncture, I will get results, I'll get traffic jams. I started feeling that actually. It was the way of seeing life, but I was seeing life as if life is not happening away my opportunities, it's the happiness situation. So maybe looking at things, and I started becoming a person point because I forgot what is happiness. I was so restless that time, but the moment I used to it helped me transform into Devdutt because of the character, living like Devdutt, and I started doing the process because that whole year I gave to this particular series. I didn't do anything else. I didn't take any other acting jobs, and it really helped me because I used to transform into somebody else the moment I used to wear clothes. My directors used to tell others that don't go close to Jagat, don't go close to, because he's become Devdutt and he can be dangerous also. So I used to stay alone in the room and on myself. So I never used to interact with anybody, and I actually became the character. There were scenes when Devdutt was drunk, so I used to drink on the sets. I used to drink wine. It just I never in my day-to-day life. I don't drink. I don't smoke. But for Devdutt, I started drinking, and I performed actually drinking like bottles. Yeah, I mean, it's where I was doing a lot of action. I was hitting myself with the hunter.
That's something I was going to say
Most
there.
amazing experiences I've ever.
Okay, oh my God, I was going to ask you that. Dev punishes himself. He used to listen. And something went wrong.
Yeah,
And so you felt like you were punishing yourself as well.
I did that. Actually, I did that.
God.
I actually did that. Yeah, I got hurt many times while playing that, and I did that. Yeah, I actually did that.
You see, as actors, I perform as Edith Piaf. When I go onto the stage, now Edith Piaf, the French singer, she was a drug addict. She was into everything. She was into heroin, drugs, everything. I never touched anything. But when I go on the stage, I always felt like I become the character. But then I do 1 hour,
Yeah, exactly.
I do my singing, and then I walk away. You did. How was it filmed? Was it filmed every day for the 53 episodes? How was that? How did they film it?
It was on an average 15 to 20 days a month. Yeah, but these intense scenes were very exhausting. I mean, at times I was dead, completely dead, and I was good for nothing for next 2-3 days. Sometimes it happened with me when I was doing these hardcore intense scenes. Yeah, but yeah, 15 to 20 days a month.
You see, I'm
very passionate. I'm actually I'm just mad and passionate about this whole thing called cinema and acting, and I just love to give my everything into it. Just everything. I don't want to hold back even 1 iota of myself. So that's me. I mean, I'm here for that. I've left my family 17-18 years back. I came to Mumbai. I've been through a lot in life just for this, and this is the in the future. I'm going to everything to it. Life. That's my purpose.
Well, you did an incredible job. You know, you convinced all of us. And, you know, I can see now from what you're saying, I can see now how much you put into it. So it worked.
Yeah.
It basically, it worked.
Yeah.
But so you would come home, but did you manage at all to switch off from the character in any way? Were you able at any point to switch off? How long did it take you to get him out of your system?
Shoot was at least 3 to 4 months. It was difficult to come out. Yeah, it took a long time. Maybe I'm not that to have that control on that switch on and off button, being an actor. But I never forced myself to be normal. Because I was very, very emotionally attached to Devdutt, and I believed in him. According to me, Devdutt was not a negative guy. I believed in him. He was thinking that he's right, and he has this faith and belief that a lot of injustice has happened with him, and so did I believe. So I just let it go the way it wanted to, and it took 3 to 4 months. I never forced myself or like took a break or went on a holiday. Nothing. I just didn't feel like doing anything. I was so attached to the character, so I let it happen naturally. Yeah, it took 3 to 4 months.
What was the interview of being Devdutt? Because did you actually feel like that? For example, let's look at Yashodhara. I mean, there was tenderness in there. There was softness in there when he gives her the scarf. You know, there was romance in there. What I'm trying to say is, a lot of the time we felt with Devdutt that he was planning all the time. Like when he went to see Ajustra, I can't pronounce his name. You know, the king. Ajustra, the king, Bimbisara's son.
Ajatashatru.
Ajatashatru.
Yeah.
He went to see him.
Ajatashatru, yeah.
Everything was planned with him. You know, it's like, I'm going to do this, and this is how it's going to be, like a war. But when it came to your relationship with Yashodhara, you had this tenderness. there was love in there. Is that true, or was that all
Yeah.
part of his scheming and his planning?
Devdutt has full loyalty towards the country and for the love he had in his heart. Actually, very much in love with Yashodhara, and there was the frustration in his life was because of this, that he could not become the king because he was so much in love with the country. He was a true warrior, and he wanted to serve the country. He wanted to serve the country in his own. And he wanted to get married to Yashodhara. And these were the two factors which he could not get in his life, and that was the cause of the frustration. So when it comes to Yashodhara, they didn't have done anything for her.
Right.
Actually, he has pushed his mother and went against his father, and the father that nobody can stop me from getting Yashodhara. So he believed in that. There was no plan which has any kind of cunningness into it. It was right from his heart. He believed in that Yashodhara, he is the right one for the Yashodhara. So there was a lot of heart into it.
It came across that in the beginning where he gives her
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
flowers, and then Buddha, when they were little, I mean, okay, you weren't the actor, but the character, he gives her lots of flowers, and Buddha gives her, and Siddharth gives her a seed, and she grows all these flowers. And you start to feel, but he was doing it from the time he knew her. He was trying to do this from the heart, but somehow you look a bit at Siddharth and you think, oh, he's a bit of a goody two shoes, he's too good to be true, because everything goes right for him, and that seed grew into a wonderful garden of flowers. Do you see what I mean? And you look at Devdutt, and he grows on you. You just start to have a lot of feelings of compassion towards him, and he's so, in a lot of ways, you feel like he's misunderstood. And quite honest, Yashodhara should have married him. I mean, like, look what happened. The poor woman was left, on her own with a baby. And people weren't very happy at Siddharth when he did that. Not until he became Buddha, and we understood, the whole message behind it. But she should have married you. She should have married Devdutt, because, quite honestly, he would have been there. Let's put it that way. So I'm just going to take a short break now, because we need to have an advert from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're going to watch a little bit of the death scene of where Devdutt dies, at the end, which was, it was just, we're all in tears. We're all in tears. It was very, very powerful. And you should win an Oscar for that, if there is such a thing as Oscars for in India. You should win an Oscar for that.
It's over for me. I mean, I can't think of that, but if you're saying so, I'll start thinking like maybe someday it can happen also.
I'm going to ask
wishes,
you, sorry, Jagat. I'm going to ask you some questions after we've watched the scene, a little bit of the scene. So we're going to come back after the break, and then I'm going to ask Jagat to talk about his real feelings of what was really going on inside him as he was doing that death scene. So,
welcome to Moving On TV, the new TV channel for us, the positive, inspirational TV channel. Come on board Moving On TV, the new positive channel, the channel that gives you hope.
Hello, my name is Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. I specialise in smoking cessation, weight loss, phobia release, stress management and hypnobirthing. I can do a free assessment via the phone, via Skype or face-to-face at any time. So that's Martin Oswald of Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy. Looking forward to your call now. You can also find me on my Facebook page, which is Martin Oswald Hypnotherapy.
क्रोध करना अपनी हथेली पर गर्म कोयले को रखने के समान जो हम किसी दूसरे पर फेंकना चाहते हैं, पर इस क्रिया में हम स्वयं को ही हानि पहुंचा रहे हैं। आपसे जवाब मांगने योग्य भी नहीं हूं मैं। शांति से जाओ देवता। बहुत आपको बहुत क्षति पहुंचाई है मैंने। बहुत मुझे तो कुछ भी स्मरण नहीं। बुद्ध धर्म और संत हर मनुष्य के अंतर में स्वयं को जगाने की क्षमता बुद्ध है। जागने के बाद हम जिस पथ पर चलते हैं वो पथ धर्म है। स्वयं के मन को एकाग्रित करना, उसे केंद्रित करना और उसे एकत्रित करना संघ। और ये तीनों रत्न तुम्हारे अंतर में
We just saw the demise, the death scene of our lovely Dev dying on his deathbed. Now, I thought he was going to recover. I really did think he would come through because somehow he came through everything. And I thought, oh, he's not going to die. They're not going to let him die. But as you see, he lay on his deathbed and he said, Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Is that right? Do you want to say it? The last 3 lines.
I'll say that, but before that,
what does he say?
I'll definitely do that. I had a very interesting incident to share on the same sequence. That we had a stunt man, like a stunt who was performing that scene where actually David rolls down from the cliff and he falls down. But I was standing there and I was not happy with the intensity and the force which was coming into that. So I wanted to do that on my own. So I requested the director that I want to do this scene on my own.
Oh my
risky.
Sure.
So I actually pushed that guy, you stay aside and I'm going to do it on my own. And it really, like, everybody appreciated that. So if I see that cliff now, I can't believe that I have actually rolled down the cliff and without any protection as such, and I did that. But that was the flow, that was the charge, that was the intent, that was the which David used to rule me, actually, my body and my senses. And I allowed him to do that. So, and yeah, and then we scene and you asked, you want me to say the Dham Sharanam Gacchami?
I want you to say it.
That Dham Sharanam Gacchami. I'm like kind of singing right now, but I can't become that. I can't become that because it was a completely different state of mind. Yeah.
Of course. But
I can't relate myself that I did that.
Let me just explain to whoever doesn't know about Buddhism, because you know I'm going to a 5-day silent retreat in Amaravati. I live very near a Buddhist retreat, and we always do a bit of the chanting.
Oh,
so just so you know, means I come to the Buddha, and then I come to the Dhamma, which is the way, the path, and then I come to the Sangam, which is the community. And it's really the last things that you say. But what I want to ask you, honestly, from the heart, was Devdutt really surrendering at that point? Or did he think, oh, I'm going to get you in another life? What do you say? What would you say? Did he surrender?
No, that was, of course he did surrender. He did surrender. And I again want to tell you this thing, that Devdutt, he always did what he believed in. And that time he was actually, he actually believed that where he should surrender. And this is the time, that was the time he realized that this is the same guy who always has been, I thought Buddha was my enemy, but taking care of me when I was completely down on the ground, injured and almost on the deathbed. And that time what Buddha told me that, don't worry, just go. And I asked him that I'm really sorry for whatever I've done to you. And he said, I don't remember anything. So that was the time Devdutt was completely shaken off. That malice in his heart. There's no complaints. He's just fine with whatever is happening in that.
Because,
so it was the realization time.
Because you do see the flashbacks, don't you? You see the flashbacks of where Buddha was so kind to him.
Yeah. That was Devdutt's state of mind.
Yeah. It's so touching.
It was like, as I said, I hoped he wasn't going to die. I really didn't want him to die. But, you know, he was so suffering so much. And now physically, you know, it's really good to hear you say that. So with every last breath, he was able to say, okay, that's it. I surrender. I now believe that all you wanted for me was
actually crying so much that time.
Yeah. You were crying.
Yeah.
Your performance was.
I was actually crying.
Was Oscar, as I say, you should win an Oscar. Do they have Have you won? Have you won any awards?
I just say
awards for your performance.
There are not many awards here for. No, not yet.
Okay.
In that category, we don't have such many of awards. But yeah, who doesn't want to win? I would love to.
Well, you've won an award with me, that's for sure. You know, Moving On TV, we think you're incredible, and but more about. I have to ask you some more questions about Devdutt, and what about the relationships with your co-actor? Because you obviously Himanshi Sun. You get on with him, so obviously, you know, actors always get on, luckily. So, but what happened when you started to feel so much like Devdutt? Did that come between you and him? Did you start to feel uncomfortable around him? Did it affect your friendship? It affected your friendship.
Actually, you caught it at the right note. Of course, it did in between, because I was so much into the character that I started hating him, and we never used to talk much during the shoot, and we accepted it because we knew, being both of us are actors, and we knew why is it happening. So in that particular time, of course, there was a disconnect. There was like, we don't feel like talking, we don't want to stay. On the contrary, we started shooting this show. We both were given the same room, because the same makeup room was given to both of us. And but gradually, as the shoot progressed, as the months passed and all, I started developing that sense of jealousy for him on personal basis also. And it was all because of the impact of the character I was playing. And and one day, actually it happened that I just went and I fell on his feet, and I thought, you are the one who's going to give moksha and nirvana to me. It just happened. I don't know why it happened. I was just thinking about Devdutt, and I was maybe thinking about the end of Devdutt, and it just something entered my body or my mind or my soul, and I just went and I fell on his feet, and he was surprised that why am I doing so. And the director said that it happens when the actors are too much into method acting, so they tend to behave like the character. So my frame of mind was, so I actually did that. So.
Oh, it's quite frightening actually what happened to you. And you know, luckily you were able to pull yourself back Because I mean, Devdutt really did. He was very evil. You know, he did kill a lot of people. He beheaded a few people. You know, and as you say, luckily you were able to pull yourself back. Do you meditate?
Yeah.
Are you a Buddhist yourself? Do you study
Yeah.
Buddhism?
I've started. Yeah, that's something which I would like to talk on. That since I've done this series Buddha, I've tried to understand what Buddha's teachings were, because I was in the black space. I was experiencing the black color, experiencing the negative part. So I have developed the value for white, developed the value for goodness, developed the values for what Buddha has taught. Into that dark space, so I know the value of light now. So that has pulled a lot of my side into his teachings, and I've started meditating, and I hear his dialogues, and especially the things which used to come at the end of every show, a particular saying, particular preaching, or a particular line about what that episode actually concludes into. And I have all the recordings with me, and I listen to them very often, and I can connect.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful.
Being Devdutt, I know the value of Buddha.
Did you have any, apart from that, did you feel you needed to go for therapy or anything like that to exercise the character as well? No. Luckily you didn't need to do that.
No.
Okay, good. And what did your parents think about you playing Devdutt? Your family, how did they feel about it when they saw your character and the character you're playing and your acting? How did your family feel about it?
See, I've been away from family for now like 17 years, and I don't generally share much of my professional experiences with them. But yeah, of course, like any other parent, they were very, very happy and delighted to see me on national TV.
Yeah.
A role, and where people are also congratulating them that, yeah, because everybody has good things to say about the performance and the character and the series.
You know, you remind.
But
your story reminds me of a film. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was based on an actor. I think Laurence Olivier played the character. An actor was playing the part of Othello, you know, where he strangles Desdemona in Shakespeare. This is from Shakespeare. I think Laurence Olivier played the part, and the actor was getting so obsessed with being Othello that at some point he actually tries to strangle his wife, because he thinks that she is Desdemona. He thinks that she is betraying him. So there's a film. It's a film. Don't worry, it's a film. But you see, so people have thought about this and how the character can take someone's life. You could write a book about it. It's an incredible experience. I mean, have you thought about putting it down on paper and writing about my experiences as Devdutt or something like that?
Yeah, it's a good idea actually. Let me try a hand on that. Oh, yeah. Or maybe let me have some more experience about acting, and then I'll have some more things to write on it. Let me do some characters. I hope I get to play, and then something more should be added to the book, and not just Devdutt.
Well,
it's a good idea.
I think what you portrayed, the characters that you portrayed in Buddha, I don't think you could really go any further. Is there anybody? Who could you play? Who do you want to play? Is there anyone that could take you to such levels? Is there any character that you feel personally you'd like to play to take you even further as a method actor? Because I think it's incredible. I wouldn't be brave enough to play something like, we don't say it, but you know Lady M from Shakespeare? We don't say the name because it's supposed to be bad luck. But she was very, very cruel and manipulated her husband, as you know, to go out and kill everyone. And I've healed a mental illness. And I personally don't feel that I could do that. I feel that it would really screw at my head and make me sick. But anyway, coming back to you, that's why I think you're incredibly brave and incredibly courageous to do what you did, the way you've done it. And you kind of surrendered. You surrendered your whole mind, body, and spirit to everything, to the part. And we're grateful because we got this incredible performance that inspired us. But who would you like to play? I know you moved on now to doing another character in Lipstick Under Your Burqa, which we'll talk about in a minute. But before we do,
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything like that. From what I've seen a little bit, some of the footage, the character you're playing, he seems quite tame compared to, well, yeah. Who would you, as an actor, aspire to play that could give you the level of emotions, maybe the other extreme of joy? I don't know. Have you got anyone in mind that you'd aspire to play?
Yeah. I would like to play Alexander.
Right. Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Warrior. Yeah,
All
I would
right.
like to play, yeah, Alexander the Great. I would like to play that, yeah. Because he was again an extremist.
Right.
So I'm sure, I don't know much about him, but yeah, I know that he tried to conquer the world. And you can imagine the thought process of a person who's trying to win the world. And he quite did it also. And at 33, he was just gone. So he lived a life and he has left his name for the rest of the world to think that, oh, Alexander was like such. And we say that, Alexander the Great. I just said Alexander and you added the word great.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I would like to play Alexander.
And of course, you will get the throne. Because you'll get the throne. And you'll get the throne.
This is the
everything. You did everything to try and get that.
This is the throne where I get love and it comes back to you. Yeah.
And I mean, just coming back to Devdutt again, he originally, you say your older brother, you know when they have the incident with the bird, you say to Siddharth, are you going to do something to upset your older brother? But you weren't his brother, you were his cousin. Is that right? Not his older brother, you were his cousin?
Yeah.
Right.
Cousin. First cousin. Yeah.
But again, when you look into the research, they say that Devdutt was his stepbrother. So it's not. It wasn't. Not exactly sure whether he was his stepbrother or his cousin. There's a bit of whether there was something.
It was cousin. It was his.
It definitely was his cousin. Right. His older cousin. And obviously, you see in the beginning, he was everything to the king before Siddharth was born.
Before Siddharth was born, yeah, he was
exactly, yeah,
by the king, and then once Siddharth was born, yeah, the focus went to Siddharth. That was one of the reasons he felt neglected.
Yeah, of course.
And the frustration building after that.
Of course.
First thing which went away from Devdutt after Siddharth was born was the love and affection and all the tension which he used to get from the king.
Went to Siddharth.
Family, which all went to Siddharth once he was born. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I started thinking from that point of view, but that's why I justify this. As a child, he has faced a lot when he was 4, and like he was made believe that he's the one who's going to be sitting on the throne when Siddharth was not born. And the moment Siddharth came and he was completely neglected. So as a child, he has to go through a lot. So that was the route where it's all in Devdutt. And then it went on and on and on. First, the bird was given to Siddharth, and then it was Yashodhara, and then it throne, and then it was everything.
Everything bit by bit, and it got to the point where we knew inside, it became a bit like a pantomime, because you knew that Devdutt was that Siddharth and Buddha was always going to win. The good and the compassion was going to win, and it started to become. Do you know what a pantomime is?
Yeah.
Where you have the boo, the villain, Mangala, your mother in it, the Devdutt's mother, Mangala. She was so cruel as well. To see that everything that happened to Devdutt, everything that started to happen was going to go wrong. Everything. It was like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah.
You knew wrong. You just knew it. But then as it happened, when you look at it from outside, you can see that how much he struggled. I mean, have you watched it? Have you watched it since you let go of the character? Have you stood back and watched the series? and see what do you think when you watch it? Without being in it, when you stand back, what do you think about it?
See, being an actor now, being an actor, you always try to, or maybe I can say being an artist, whenever you look back to your work, what you have done, first thing which comes in your mind is that I could have done it better. So it's very difficult to get that part out of your mind, and you always focus on what you have done and the technicalities and the way you performed. So I try to see it and try to understand, but the first thing which strikes me is, oh, I could have done this scene better. Oh, I could have done this also in that. Oh, I could have done that also in that.
Okay,
So,
what happens after that goes?
That's what comes across my mind.
Exactly, because we want everything perfect as actors and performers. It's always like that. But when that goes, what else? What's your observations about your performance after that, or the character? Can you see anything from the point of view of an audience of the actual what's happening, the way everything's unfolding?
Story, I always was very much involved from the day one only. So there's nothing much I explore now because I've lived it with such closeness and with such depth. So as story wise and as the content wise, I was always very much aware and always into it. So there's nothing much to explore. Yeah, you try to do those things in your life, what you learn from Buddha, and that gives you new experiences. But just looking at the series and all, I was already there into it, so nothing much, and all the attention goes to the performance and the technicalities of the show. Or this shot could have been, because now I'm trying to direct also a movie, so I look at the direction point of view, that the way the series was shot and the emotions of the dial and the actors, the delivery, the camera angles and all. So mine goes into those things rather than getting the emotional, and that's already been extracted out of it.
But some of the scenes were extraordinary. I mean, the scene when Buddha is sitting there meditating, and Mara with the arrows and the colors, and it's just absolutely amazing. They did so much amazing, beautiful scenes. Anyway, let's leave Devdu for a while. I want to come back and do another interview with you. Once I come back from my retreat, I'd love to do another interview with you, and maybe do a couple of interviews, because this is just fascinating.
Please share those experiences.
And it's fascinating. I'm so excited. First of all, so you're just finished working on a film called Lipstick Under the Burqa. Is that right? I mean, I looked at a few scenes of it. It looks very, very brave film, a very brave, courageous film to be in, especially the way we live our lives at the moment. So basically, it's about are they Muslim women that literally they let go of their Muslim life and they go out and party and have fun, and that's the representation of the lipstick. Is that right?
It's not just about Muslim girls. It's about a female individuality, especially in our country, or where females are suppressed. They're not given freedom. They cannot choose what they want to. They are not allowed to choose. So the burqa is basically a metaphor. It doesn't literally mean the burqa, but it's a metaphor which is used, that all the desires, all the wishes are actually hidden under this burqa, which is the male-dominated society.
Right.
Which is the male power, which try to overpower the women.
It's very great.
So it doesn't actually, it's not about Muslims, it's about women.
About women in particular. And so who do you play in it? What's your character?
I played a swimming coach in the film. A swimming coach, a young swimming coach, and who teaches girls and how to swim, and that's where the actress who's opposite to me, Ratna Pathak Shah, she's a legend herself, and she falls in love with this guy, and she has her own fantasies, and that's how the story builds up between both of us. And have you seen the movie, or have you seen any rushes or something?
I saw a little bit on YouTube. I watched a little bit. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. We'll probably get it on Netflix. We get everything on Netflix.
It's on Netflix now.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm definitely going to watch it. So you play a nice
It's
part.
getting released in US also now in
Fabulous.
September.
Well, we need it.
Yeah.
We need it. It's what we need, and good luck with that. I think it's incredible that to be
Thank you so
making
much for
films
that.
like that. It's so important, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's all about freedom, freedom of speech, and freedom. You know.
Yeah.
So you play a nice guy in this.
To do what you want, yeah.
Yeah, but your character.
Yeah, I mean the character is a very normal character.
He's just a normal guy.
Yeah. It's not based on sexuality. I'm saying it's a very ordinary person. Any ordinary have affairs or would like to flirt and will do a part-time job. So you can't actually categorize it in a good or a bad character. We all are gray actually in our own lives. So he's a very ordinary guy who has his own gray shade to it, and he just get to into that interaction with this lady who is 48, 50, but he never knew that he's talking to the lady. He has his own fantasies, and he was thinking that he's talking to someone else, which he used to find very attractive at the pool. So this whole thing builds into a mystery and which unfolds into the reality, which actually hits him very badly, and then he has this little gray element that he goes and he complains, and you have to see the film. Actually, I can't talk much about the film. If you have not seen, you must see the film.
So Buddha, I mean, you finished it in, was it 2013, 2014 when you finished film Buddha? 2014 or 2013?
14.
Right. Okay.
14.
So you took a long
end of 14.
Okay, you took quite a lot of breaks. You took a long break first, and then you went back. Did you to performing this character? Okay, so I have a question for someone here wants to know. Do you feel the Bollywood it represents?
Are we live right now? Are we live right now?
No. I've just got questions here that people have given me. No, we're not live. That's why we're going to be editing.
Okay.
Thank God. No, we're not live. We're not streaming. Do you feel that Bollywood represents reality more than Hollywood? Somebody asked me if you could you explain that? Do you feel that Bollywood gives people more of a representation of the reality of life more than Hollywood?
See, the scenario in Bollywood is now changing, and we are making more movies which are close to reality. We are working on biopics. We are working on films which earlier it used to be a lot of fantasies in the film. Yeah. But now it's changing. About Hollywood, I can't say much because I'm not really too much into Hollywood movies. I stick to my Bollywood and I enjoy Bollywood movies, and that's where I get all the inspiration to make Bollywood movies. But yeah, the scenario is changing now, and we are making realistic films. We are taking up issues which have been very, which has made their presence felt in society, which has something to convey through medium of cinema. Biopics are being made, and stories on sportsmen, and they're being liked by so many people here. So they are doing very well. So I can't say much about Hollywood.
Okay. And another question I have before we finish, and as I say, I'm going to do another interview with you about Devdas. I'm sure I am. Sure, I'm going to get new questions and stuff. Is if you another actor came to see you and said that they were going to have to play something like the character of Devdas, what would be your advice to them? How would you help them to maybe have an easier time and to maybe not go through as much as you did? A little bit less suffering in real life.
I know. I don't actually, I'm not much bothered about it. For me, the passion level is that much that it should be conveyed on screen anyhow. And I have taken the route of going through meditation, thinking and believing, and just closing my eyes and try to see and visualize the thing in that era, and started believing that if I am Devdas, what will happen to me? How will I start thinking? What will be my life like? what will I do when I'll get up in the morning? What will I do when I'll be sleeping? What will be my thought process? What are the things which I like? What are the things which troubles me most? What is more important for me? So the whole thought process changes once you get such character. And you cannot portray the character like in 1 or 2 days. It needs time to get your system. It needs time to build that faith into the character. You have to have that faith and belief in the character. And it takes time. It can take up to months. It can get there. You can get there in days also. It depends upon the character and how close you are to that. If I have to play an ordinary guy who is working for a young guy of 2017, it won't be much difficult, I'm sure. But going into the history past that era, which such qualities were had, I think you need a lot of preparation.
Do you have any plans to come to England? Because I would love to interview you directly with a proper, without all the Zoom, because it's much better, obviously, face to face. Any plans to come to England?
Country, I really want to come and there because I know I have heard great things about London, about UK, about England, the legacy, the aristocracy. You guys have ruled the world, and I want to see the country which has ruled the world. So yeah, I would love to. Right now, I'm working on a film. Let me get done with it, and I'll definitely come for a week or so.
Wonderful. I'll take you to Amravati, and then you can see this beautiful, huge Buddhist retreat. And if you
please do connect when you are here.
Like nice big salads, Mediterranean salads, and the food is wonderful. You love it. So it's been a pleasure, Jagat. It's been an incredible pleasure to interview you. And as I say, when I come back from the retreat, I'll get in touch with you. And when you come to England, we'll interview you directly. And it'll be so great, to be able to get you properly on the camera and everything. But in the meantime, it's been wonderful. I suppose that it must be very, very hot in Mumbai at the moment. Very hot. The weather?
It's very pleasant here. It's been raining. No, it's monsoon here. It's quite pleasant here. It's been raining, and on this interview and in this interaction, I want to thank you for letting me come and interact with you. And it's an honor, and all the kind words and wishes you've given to me.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and
would love to interact with you in the future.
I hope you know that we really do respect and have so much I can't think of the word, but respect for your performance and you as an actor and everything you portrayed. As I said, I thought it was really important to be able to talk to you to help you let go of that a little bit more. And I knew I was going to interview you. I just knew. I thought I'm definitely going to get in touch with you and interview you. So thank you for getting back to us so quick.
All my honor.
And for being so committed and responsible. And I'll let you know when we release this. So take care. Thank you, everyone. And that was Jagat Singh from Mumbai with awesome people around the globe on Moving On TV. And if you want to come on here with your unique story, I can't wait. You can get to the studio and we will film you. Or if you're on Zoom somewhere in the world, anywhere in the world, we can now film you. So have a beautiful day and namaste for Moving On TV. And you can always get in touch with me, with Lauren with an E, at movingontv.uk. Take care now. Bye.